in regards to those two guys, my takeaway is, again, I know that it can be overrated sometimes, but presence is a thing. And for an 18-year-old kid, he had the look of a guy that knows he's going to be a dude. Whereas Bronny James looked like, okay, in comparison to last year, he'd improved. Last year, he ran from the ball. Last year, he was not particularly good defensively. And last year, he looked tiny. This year, still doesn't look big, although it looks stronger. Looked like he knew kind of what to do and where to go, but was just kind of a guy. Like, if you didn't know he was Bronny James, you wouldn't know who he was. You wouldn't say, like, who's that guy? Cooper Flagg, I think you would say, boy, that kid must think he's really, really good because he takes a lot of shots. But part of it is you're never going to get to that place of being a dominant player unless you act and try and play like a dominant player. Am I making sense, Dan? That there's
I thought he flashed last night. There were, especially in the first half, there were about like 4 or 5 sequences, I think in a row, where he was either passing or dunking or doing something that, yes.
Look like that at some point that will work.
Yes.
And that's really what your rookie year high draft pick summer league is about. Right? It's like in golf. When you're not particularly good at golf, or maybe you're modestly good, or you're really good, Dan, you can be more the judge of it, where you're not, it's not about what your round is, right? It's going to be bad, right? It's a little bit about the final score, but it's a lot about those 1 or 2 shots that keep you coming back. You know?
Yes.
Remember that drive on 11? Whoa! Now I'm coming back. And if you're playing with a guy who's not very good and he hits a drive on 11, you're like, if he works on it, if he played a little bit more golf, he could be a decent player.
There's also, in a similar parallel, and me and my buddy were talking about this when I played with him about a month or two ago. We were saying, because we were both playing decent for how we played, but we really stink. Like, we're bad, but we're playing with each other, and we're, shooting decent scores for us. And you're like, when you play with someone that can really play, you realize how much that you aren't good at the game. And I felt like at last night, like, there were guys out there that, maybe they can look the part, maybe they can hit the 3, but when Cooper Flagg is doing what he's doing, it's just a different animal.
Yeah, as opposed to Bronny James, who, again, you take the golf analogy, and he doesn't have to shoot a 65, but he has to look like he could shoot a 65. If that makes any sense to anybody. You don't have to shoot a 65. You got to look like you could shoot a 65. And he just doesn't. And what happens is what people, they'll say, like, oh, Bronny stinks. He doesn't stink. He's not bad at basketball. He's just not a rotational NBA player. He shouldn't be one of the 450 best players in the world. Because if he was, after a year of being in the NBA and the G League, he should have far more control over what's going on in the court. As you guys point out, look, I haven't played together, look, I haven't done things like, no, yes, but most guys who have played a year in the NBA, even if they haven't played a lot, like the game before was Oklahoma City, and they have the Nikolai Topic, who, like, everybody thinks is going to be really good. They had no minutes for him this year. But he looked like, that's gonna work at some point, right? Like, he looked like he'd been around the course before. Bronny had some of that, but there was definitely no control over the game. We're like, damn, he is at a different level than everybody else. And if you played a year in the NBA and played a portion of a year in the G League, that's how you should look. That's my breakdown of it. And there were some times in which I was willing to, like, ooh, okay. But the times of where he looks the part are still too few and far between in comparison to his contemporaries.